Hey, Shooby Doodlers, today I'm going to show you how to draw a seahorse, but let's not talk about it. Let's do it. Okay, let's draw a seahorse, and I'm going to start off with a circle like that. So that's kind of its head, and then from the bottom of the circle at a slight angle down, draw a line coming out, then come around the circle a bit, and then come down a little bit, and then chop that off kind of at an angle like that. And then the eyeball wants to be round about there, and I'm going to put the pupil round about here so it's going to be looking out at us. Now, part of the secret, I think, is kind of following a line down there. So you want to have his chest coming out like that. And then, so this is going to be kind of thirds. Okay, that will come around there, that will come there, and then, so that, and that is kind of about thirds. And then this wants to curl in a bit, and then bring it round in a curl, and then this will also then kind of come around in a curl like that. Now we're going to want to have a kind of a fin on the back as well. It has this little swimmy fin thing there. And then this isn't any particular kind of seahorse, but I'm going to give it these spines on the top because I think that kind of makes it look more majestic, and it's kind of an idea of a seahorse more than anything, I suppose. It's kind of what we think of. It's kind of what you kind of instantly recognise as a seahorse, I think. So I'll just bring that there. And then we want these kind of lines coming across, and as they come down the tail, then you're going to want these sections like that. And I am going to start with the eye, and I frequently do start with the eye because it's where you connect with the character that you're drawing, and I think this is more of a character than a than a kind of a biologically correct kind of, you know, it's not an art, it's not a biology lesson, is it, or a natural history lesson. And I'm making the edge slightly crinkly, and I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to put a little hint of the jaw carrying around there, and then these spines I'm going to have going out like that, and then they will become less pronounced as you come around here, and then out into the fin is the word I'm looking for. I don't know what it is about when I'm drawing and filming, sometimes the words just don't come. I'm trying to think what something's called. And so we want little kind of blobs on where the lines are, like that. And then as you come along, so the little kind of loops around the edge of those lines. So this is why we've got them kind of sketched in. Down this kind of middle section here, then we want to have these kind of boxes, but they're not complete. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is, on this side, these boxes will be almost complete, but not quite. And on this side I'm going to do it that way. So here again I'm going to do that, and then that will go kind of that way, and that will go that way there. We want a kind of a crinkly edge to that bit, and then draw a line and fading out, so you don't want it going all the way. In fact, you could almost do dots at the end like that, just to fade it out, to make it a bit more ethereal. And then we do these kind of little crossbars, but you don't want to go right the way to the end, so don't want to sort of join the edges. Now, to make sure it's dry, I'm using a hairdryer. When you're sure it's dry, erase all those pencil lines. You don't have to use a hairdryer. You can just, wait for it to dry. Okay, I'm going to paint this with a water brush. So all the water is in the handle, and I'm just going to give it a squeeze to get rid of the colour that was there before. It's quite a strong blue. And I'm going to squeeze a bit of water into my palette. I'm using a Cotman Sketches set. All the links for these things are below if you want to get these things. This is a really cheap but simple, good starters set. In fact, I did a video about this set, so click here to find out more about the set if you're interested. And I'm going to add a little bit of blue just to darken up the kind of yellow, so it becomes more of a green. And I might have a little bit more in there, a bit more green. No, that's too much. I want more yellow. And I'm going to leave a little bit of white there as the kind of reflection for shininess. And I know I've said it many times, but I'll say it again about watercolor, is that what you're doing is laying down layers of transparent color. Okay, so sometimes you get sweets, candies, which have kind of transparent plastic wrappers on. We used to call it cellophane. And you can put it to your eye and see the whole world turns pink or purple or something like that. And it's just like that. So the light is coming through these transparencies from the paper. So the light is reflecting off the white of the paper and shining through the transparencies. Okay. When you paint with oil paint, then the colour is actually in the paint. You put the paint down, the light comes from the paint. Here the light is coming from the paper. If you can always think of that, it kind of helps what I'm trying to do watercolours. I'm just going to fade that a little bit to make it look a bit pale at the end. I'm going to add a little bit of blue to my green, and then I'm going to have the lights that are coming down this way, so I just generally want a kind of a darker area on this side. That will be on that side too, and around the sort of belly of the... Now I'm washing out the colour of the brush there and just using fresh water, so you get clean water. If you squeeze a little bit when the brush is clean, you get clean water, so you can kind of thin down as you go if you've done too much. And then I'm going to add a little bit more blue because we want to have kind of shadows. So I'm going to put a little bit of kind of texture with kind of brush marks in there to just make it look a bit more interesting. And again, maybe sort of little spots and things around the place, just to texturize it. And if you like the look of this paint box, you can win it in this month's Shoo Rayner Drawing Prize. It's not a competition. What do? You go here, click here, go to your Shoo Rayner Drawings community page, and several people have started putting up their drawings. And the theme for this month is August at the Seaside. So go and have a look at this here as well, which is the playlist of videos of my kind of seaside theme videos. And go and look at those videos and just kind of be a little bit inspired. So you can just copy them if you like, but what I'm really encouraging you to do is to just go that little bit further and add, and just make it more into a picture and add something to it. So with this you might want to add seaweed or a mermaid, or mermaid. I should draw a mermaid, shouldn't I, for my seaside thing? And just sort of make it more interesting. You know, you might just put a thought bubble with a joke in it. You know, that's, that's all you need to do, is adding something. That's added value, I think, as they say in marketing terms. I just want to make these little kind of shadows more kind of obvious. So I'm hoping to now have a prize every month, a different theme every month. And on Wednesday I had my first ever live drawing show. Did you see that? Click here to see my live drawing show. And it was all about kind of saying hello to people who've been commenting on my videos for years, and it's kind of really weird to have everybody watching and actually being there rather than just kind of watching a video. So that was really exciting, and it's a huge learning curve. I've got a lot to learn, and next week it's going to be on Tuesday because I can't make the Wednesday. So make sure you're there on Tuesday. I think probably about 8 p.m. UK time. If you miss it, you can click here to see how it was. I'll try and put the links up. And remember these things. There's a lot to plan and think about. I want to make these eyes quite yellow, and I'm going to leave a little bit of white shininess in there, and I'm going to add just a little touch of red, vermilion red, and then clean my brush and then just kind of wash that in so it becomes a kind of an orangey. There we go. Now if you squeeze your brush onto the palette, then you will get some water to be able to clean it. So what do you get in the prize? Well, there's a Cotman Sketchers watercolour set, and a rotary ticky graphic, and a Derwent graphic pencil. You'll get one of these water brushes, Derwent water brushes. You'll get an art eraser. You'll get an exclusive Shoo Rayner sketchbook, and a copy of my book, Everyone Can Draw, which is now available on Amazon at last. And also, if you go to ShooRaynerDrawing.com, you can download it as an ebook. So that will all be in the prize, which I think is quite a good prize. So now I'm adding a bit of blue. And I think this is going to be a bit dark. Let's see. Oh, that's going to be right. So I'm going to be quite painterly with this. And I'm kind of using the brush stroke, and then as you kind of squeeze the brush, you can kind of get more colour. It kind of washes the colour out of the fibres of the brush. I could have added other things in, like bubbles and seaweed and things, but I'm just concentrating on I don't really have the time in a video to do all those things, but you can do those things. You can add all the others and make up more of a picture. Oh, there we go. So squeezing the handle and more water comes out. You can add those bits to make up more of a picture, and that's really what I'm looking for. That's what I'm encouraging you to do. And now I'm going to do some more kind of swishy lines to make it more kind of wavy, but at the same time I'm making them darker to kind of outline the seahorse that bit more. If you would like to own this, then I will be putting it on my website, ShooRaynerDrawing.com, and all these drawings that I do, making available as postcards. I'm not wrapping them up. The posting is part of the art. It's going to be a postcard, and I'm just going to send it through. So it comes with. So if it comes with great big postmark stamps all over it, that's part of it. Okay, that's part of the art. And then finally, this is where I'm going to ruin everything. Finally, I'm going to then do a kind of a one going across the top as well. So it's a bit too pale, and just to kind of put it in. I'm going to leave it there before I do any more damage. Part of it is knowing when to stop. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, why not go and learn how to draw a beach hut or just go and try the mystery drawing. Either way, make sure you are subscribed for new drawing videos every Monday and Friday, and don't forget the live show on Tuesday. Go visit my website, it's shooraynerdrawing.com, and in the meantime, keep drawing, practice, and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.